Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the most mysterious, epic, and influential texts ever written, the Book of Revelation. It's a question we've all probably thought about, and when we do, certain images just pop into our heads, right? You think of cosmic battles, plagues, chaos, a final, ultimate judgment. Well, it turns out that for a huge part of the world, a lot of those ideas, the very language we use for the apocalypse, it all flows from this one single, incredibly powerful source. And right from its opening line, the book sets the stakes incredibly high. This isn't just a story. It claims to be an urgent unveiling of events that are about to happen, things that, as it says, must shortly take place. Okay, so to really get this, we have to start with who received this vision and where. And a story doesn't begin in some grand palace. It starts in a place of lonely exile. The writer isn't a king or a famous philosopher. He just calls himself John, and he tells us he's been exiled to this little Greek island, Patmos, basically for being a dissident, for sticking to his faith. And it's right there, in that isolation, that this whole cosmic vision begins. The very first thing he's told to do is to write it all down. Everything he's about to see, he needs to record it and send it out like a memo to 7 actual real-world communities that existed at the time in what's now Turkey. After those messages, John says he's basically transported into a heavenly throne room. And this is where the main event, the core of the vision, really kicks off. At the absolute center of everything is this scroll. It's in the hand of a figure on a throne, and it's written on both sides and sealed up tight with 7 different seals. You just know whatever is in there is a really, really big deal. Then, a powerful angel basically shouts this question to the entire cosmos. It creates this incredible moment of tension. The future of everything is locked in that scroll, but who on earth or in heaven has the authority to open it? And you get this deafening silence. Nobody steps forward. Not a single being in all of creation is found worthy. And John, the one witnessing all this, says he just breaks down and weeps because it looks like the future is going to stay a secret forever. But then we hit this incredible twist, maybe the central point of the whole book. An elder tells John, "Don't weep, the lion has prevailed." So you're expecting this powerful, conquering king to stride out. But when John looks, he sees a lamb, one that looks like it's been sacrificed, and that is the one who is worthy. The big takeaway here, the power to unseal the future doesn't come from brute force, but from sacrifice. So the lamb takes the scroll, and as he begins to break open those seals one by one, some of the most famous images from the book are unleashed on the world, starting with the 4 horsemen. The first seal is broken, and out comes a rider on a white horse. This figure is all about conquest, riding out with a crown and a bow, just bent on victory. The second seal opens, and a new rider appears, this time on a horse that's fiery red. His mission is crystal clear, to completely erase peace from the earth and get people to turn on each other. Next up, the third seal reveals a rider on a black horse, and he's holding a pair of scales. A voice calls out insane prices for food, basically signaling economic collapse and widespread famine. And finally, the 4th seal is broken, and a pale horse rides out. This one doesn't leave anything to the imagination. The text just straight up says his name is Death, and the underworld itself is riding right behind him. And you know, if you thought the horsemen were bad, that was just the opening act, because after the seals comes a whole new series of judgments, the 7 trumpets. With each blast, a new catastrophe hits, and these are on a cosmic scale, wiping out 1/3 of the trees, 1/3 of the sea, 1/3 of the fresh water, even 1/3 of the light from the sun and moon. Okay, so right here, the narrative kind of shifts gears. We've seen all these terrible plagues and disasters, but now the story zooms in and gives a face to the evil that's driving all this chaos. We're about to meet the main antagonists. Suddenly, John sees this incredible sign in the sky, a woman about to give birth, and this giant, terrifying red dragon is just waiting to eat her child. A war breaks out in heaven, and the dragon, who the text identifies as Satan, loses and gets thrown down to earth. Now stuck on earth, the dragon doesn't act alone. It empowers a new player, a beast that rises up out of the sea. This beast represents a corrupt global power that demands total worship from humanity. But it doesn't even stop there. A second beast shows up, and this one acts like the first beast's propaganda minister. It performs miracles to deceive people and enforces this global worship, forcing everyone to get a mark. And it all leads to this infamous conclusion. The number of the beast is 666. All right, so after we've met the villains, we get to the climax of all the judgment. A final, devastating series of plagues are poured out, and they all culminate in the total destruction of one powerful symbolic city. The book calls this city Babylon the Great, and it's basically a symbol for the entire corrupt world system, all the economic exploitation and idolatry. And after the final plagues hit, an angel makes the announcement, it's all over. Babylon has fallen. And you get a real sense of just how powerful this Babylon was from how the world reacts. The kings and the global merchants, the ones who got rich off the system, they just watch from a distance and cry out because in a single hour, all their immense wealth has been wiped out. But just when you think it's all fire and judgment, the vision takes its most dramatic turn yet. The tone completely shifts from destruction to creation, as the entire old reality is wiped away for good. It's such a simple but profound statement. The world as we know it is gone, and in its place something entirely new begins, setting the stage for the book's final, breathtaking vision. A holy city, the New Jerusalem, comes down from heaven. And what's so amazing is how it's described. It's less about what's in the city and more about what's gone. No more death, no more sorrow, no crying, no pain. There's not even a temple or a sun, because the presence of God just illuminates everything. And that is how the entire epic story ends. Not with a quiet fade to black, but with this final, urgent promise. It leaves the reader right where they started, with this profound sense of anticipation for a future that feels like it's just around the corner.